Hey guys, a very good evening to all my crypto believers. So, have you all been curious about what's happening in the market? Don't you worry, the CoinMonks got you covered. You can also stay cryptodated by listening to our crypto news podcast. We've left the link for you in the description box below. Okay, so before starting with the updates, let's quickly quote today's headlines. El Salvador's president responds to Bank of England's Bitcoin adoption criticism. This exec believes Bitcoin will soon become the global reserve currency. Tanzania central bank reportedly prepares to launch CBDC. Blow to UK crypto exchanges as new law prohibits tax returns claims. So let's start up with the refresh feed. Firstly, President Nayib Bukele has some trust issues with the Bank of England and its concerns about the country's BTC adoption. The Bank of England is not a fan of Bitcoin nor its growing adoption in countries like El Salvador. The governor, Andrew Bailey, had repeatedly expressed his concerns, but this time El Salvador's president, Nayib Bukele, issued a response. I wonder if there will be a Twitter battle next. Anyways, let's have a look at our inscription. Since the small Central American country announced plans to accept Bitcoin as official cash in June 2021, a slew of international financial institutions have tried to persuade it not to. Apart from the IMF, the Bank of England was the most vociferous, led by BTC critic Andrew Bailey. Since then, the organization has utilized nearly every chance to reiterate its position that El Salvador should solely use fiat money. The most recent example came earlier this week, just after President Nayib Bukele, the country's leader, declared ambitions to construct a Bitcoin city. According to Bloomberg, Bailey, like most other critics, mentioned the famed volatility. The fact that a country would choose it as its national currency worries me. What concerns me the most is if El Salvador's population are aware of the nature and volatility of their currency. Although it has only been a few months since El Salvador authorized Bitcoin, the experiment appears to be working out well for the country, at least according to President Bukele's or his administration's frequent updates. For example, the country has taken advantage of the aforementioned volatility, particularly when the price drops, to amass additional shares of the asset and to use the money earned when the price rises to prepare for the purchase of pet hospitals or new schools. President Bukele responded to Bailey's most recent remarks in an ironic manner, especially when it came to the BOE's real worries for the people of El Salvador. Is the Bank of England concerned about El Salvador's Bitcoin adoption? Really? I suppose the Bank of England is genuinely concerned about our people's well-being, right? They've always been concerned about our people after all. Always. Bank of England is one of my favorite financial institutions. Whoa, it's hard for me to understand if that was a sarcastic reply. Man, sarcasm is at its presidential level nowadays. Anyways, moving forward, Bitcoin, the world's most valuable cryptocurrency, is now on a tear. The global banking system could be disrupted by Bitcoin and other major cryptocurrency ventures. BTC is portrayed as having the power to battle central banks and Wall Street over the creation and control of money. BTC, on the other hand, still needs a few renovations to attain this position permanently. Yeah, mixed feelings again, yeah? So, helping y'all to form your opinion, let's have a look at what's getting cooked. Avanti Bank and Trust founders CEO Caitlin Long shared her perspective on the subject. At some point, Bitcoin will be recognized as a global reserve currency. Nonetheless, it will take a long time. Let's have a look at how. Many Bitcoin supporters believe the cryptocurrency is a deflationary asset that will soon overthrow the US dollar. However, she warned against deflation or inflation in general, stating that she anticipates a seamless transition. You'll wind up with debt that has been issued, and debt is intrinsically inflationary. You don't want debt inflation, which will put you in a deflationary environment. This could lead to a reaction from central banks that is excessive. However, Bitcoin is not without flaws. She expressed her opinion as follows. There are aspects of Bitcoin market that aren't really fair or consistent. I'm really opposed to some of the fractional reserve lending practices we're witnessing in the Bitcoin lending markets. Adding to the understanding of circulation credit and commodity credit, it's fantastic that there's a market for up to 1:1 leverage. However, once you exceed 1:1 leverage, you've crossed the line into into producing more claims to the asset than there are real assets. The main goal is to introduce a run risk into the system. Governments all around the world have kept their stance on crypto laws ambiguous. Long, on the other hand, claim that banning fractional reserve banking and the Bitcoin market are two areas where the government should actively intervene. To establish a real interest rate curve, absolute property rights are required. We don't have that right now in Bitcoin because there are so many fractional reserve intermediaries. The aforementioned characteristic raises not only Bitcoin's price volatility but also the cost of financing for everyone involved in the business. Solving this problem would make it easier for individuals all across the world to interact with Bitcoin. Moreover, Tanzania and their CBDC has been in the news recently. Tanzania has reportedly started exploring a CBDC. The country is now following the footsteps of Nigeria, which launched its own digital currency last month. Other African countries have similarly announced plans to launch CBDCs. Is it a good chance of revolution for all of them? Nobody knows, but they indeed are trying hard to. Let's have a look at the present scenario with our next inscription being Bank of Tanzania Governor Florence Luoga disclosed the country's CBDC intentions on Thursday during the 20th Conference of Financial Institutions, according to a Bloomberg article on Friday. To ensure that our country does not fall behind in the adoption of central bank digital currencies, he stated, the Bank of Tanzania has already initiated preparations for its own CBDC. As a result, the governance stated that the central bank is looking to extend its study into digital currencies as well as increase its team's capacity. The creation of Nigeria's own CBDC, the e-Naira, last month, Luoka claimed, encouraged this decision. Nigeria has teamed up with a German fintech company to establish a digital currency to supplement the Naira. After the Bahamas, which inaugurated its own CBDC last year, the West African country is the second to have one. According to the governor, the central bank intends to diversify its foreign exchange holdings. It will do so by purchasing gold from local refineries. The monetary gold we intend to purchase should have a purity of at least 99.5%, he stated. In addition, he anticipates the country's inflation rate to be within the goal range of 3% to 5% in 2021 to 2022. The central bank, according to Loka, is still wary about cryptocurrency. He also informed the public of the company's illegal position in the country, cautioning them against investing. After the central bank stated that cryptocurrencies were not recognized by law, they have been prohibited in Tanzania since 2019. This could change soon, since the Bank of Tanzania is apparently preparing to lift the prohibition. Tanzanian President Samia Suluhu Hassan asked the central bank to prepare for cryptocurrencies shortly after taking office, prompting this development. Moving forward with our final inscription, so following a new modification to the Her Majesty's Revenue and Customs legislation, cryptocurrency exchanges operating in the UK will be required to pay the 2% digital service tax. The exchanges are not eligible for a financial marketplace exemption since the HMRC does not regard digital assets as financial instruments, according to the Telegraph. Well, what do you guys think about it? Is it a better way of acknowledgement? I'm not sure. Anyways, let's have a look at the current situation with our next headline being the digital service tax was enacted in April of last year to ensure that the tech behemoths like Facebook and Amazon pay a higher tax. The new tax set for exchanges comes after the HMRC updated its guidelines, emphasizing that there are many different types of crypto assets with different characteristics. Exchanges will not benefit from the exemption granted to online financial markets since cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin do not represent money or financial contracts, according to HMRC. There are many different types of crypto assets, each with their own set of features. Crypto asset exchanges are unlikely to benefit from the exception for online financial marketplaces, according to the HMRC, because cryptocurrencies do not represent commodities, financial contracts, or money. Players in the crypto sector, backed by lobby organization Crypto UK, have reached angrily to the latest development. According to the organization, treating cryptocurrencies differently than other financial assets is unfair. The action, according to Ian Taylor, a director of Crypto UK, is regressive to the cryptocurrency field while criticizing the Financial Conduct Authority's laws. He pointed out that the regulation will have a direct impact on crypto investors by raising costs. Furthermore, the new legislation adds to the UK's already hazy Bitcoin taxation laws. In the United Kingdom, there are currently no taxes that apply expressively to Bitcoin assets. The profits of anyone who holds them as a personal investment are liable to capital gains tax. So we would now wind up with our assessment for today evening and meet you all tomorrow with even more interesting stuff. Until then, you may consider joining our Telegram channel for free crypto signals. Visit our blog linked below for guides, reviews and tutorials, and subscribe to the channel and get daily updates about the crypto market. Lastly, with this little favor of Coin Monks, we hope you stay updated. Thanks for watching and have a nice day ahead.